we do also need to use commas. And when we did this quiz, a lot of you really had a hard time with putting quotation marks on. And I know we learned about it back in like November, and it's been a long time. So this showed me that we really do need to review it, okay? So we're going to review quotation marks, and then we're just going to do a quick paper to practice writing them again. And I think Addie was the only second grader that had a perfect. So I know Addie knows her quotation marks, but some of you still need to work on practicing them, okay? All right. Welcome to XYZ News. We travel the world to bring you the latest news.
Do you want me to shut the door?
To find the best stories, you need to interview lots of people. You need to get the facts right. So when you're watching the news, a lot of times they will interview people. They will talk to people. So like the news reporter will do, he'll have a microphone. And he says, I love quoting people. That way you hear their exact words. So when we quote people and put quotation marks, we are using their exact words that came out of their mouth. We interviewed students to hear what they would change to make school cool. All right, here's the first one. Here's Lily. Lily said, comma. Now these are her exact words, so you can see there's quotation marks hugging what she's saying. Lewis, what did Lily say?
I think all kids should have their own iPad.
Do you guys have your own iPad?
Yeah.
But this girl, Lily, thinks that all kids should have their own iPad. And this is being hugged. I think all kids should have their own iPads. So remember, 2 quotation marks is a set. I need to have 2. What did I say? Did I not say iPads? A couple years ago, not all kids had their own iPads. We had to share. So you guys are lucky because you've never had to do that. But before, a few years ago, we had to share iPads. Libby. Oh wait, go back and put on your mask.
Why is there a capital I?
Because I is always capitalized when you talk about yourself. So I is always capitalized because you are important. Okay? Good question. Raylan.
So you know how not everyone had iPads? What about when you get older and you have Chromebooks?
You got kind of the same thing. You have your own device.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of what they're saying. Every kid should have their own device. Because yeah, when you get older, you won't have iPads. You'll have a little Chromebook.
Yeah.
Yes, Kinsley.
On the left, that one. Why is it like this is not capitalized but that is?
Good question. This is just how, this is the brand. So it's like an iPhone, an iPad. So the company is
Or
Apple.
Android.
And they have the I lowercase, and that's just how they do it. So that's a really good question because it kind of looks funny. But yes, this is how you write it. So if you would look at an iPhone, it'd be the same way. It'd be a little I, and then
the P-H-O-N-E.
Yep, big P-H-O-N-E. All right, here's this interview. John suggested, so this is what John's suggesting. We can start school an hour later. Would that be cool?
Yes.
No, I
Alright,
would say it.
So I'm gonna ask John, since this is John. John, what is John's words coming out of his mouth? What is being quoted?
We can start school an hour later.
Yep, so that is why it is being hugged by those quotation marks. Okay, and then we always put a comma because we kind of have to pause before we say, like, John suggested or John asked. Okay? Question, Addie.
Some the drawings
middle?
No.
No. So Addie, notice this was at the end. It's at the back. So you'll either have to pick at the back or in the front, but it's not in the middle. All right. So do you guys want to start at 9?
Yeah.
That'd be
No,
cool.
we
Let's
should
get
go
off
running
that.
in the night.
Now look at this.
Nice.
School will be fun. Peter shouted. So he's saying two things. He's shouting it. If we get free milkshakes every Friday.
Yeah.
No, every day.
Yeah, every day, and we don't have to
Okay,
go to school for
so
this.
what is the words coming out of Peter's mouth? What is he shouting? He's shouting two things. What's the first one, Ingrid?
Peter shouted, if you get free milkshakes every Friday.
Yep, so school will be fun is being hugged with the quotation marks because he's shouting that. And then if we get free milkshakes every Friday is being hugged by the quotation marks as well. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
We want milkshakes every day.
Now, just remember, quotation marks show the direct words or speech, the exact words coming out of the speaker's mouth. And it's being hugged. Look at that little news lady being hugged by those quotation marks.
No, I know why there is too. Because close to hugging each other.
Yeah, they are. They are.
So it gets it squished.
Yep. Okay, now, Amy stated we should write less tests. What do you guys think about that?
Yes.
Okay,
Only one test each.
So what is the words coming out of Amy's mouth, Brooklyn, that should be hugged?
We should write less tests.
Yep, right. So you guys should have less tests. Mrs. Murphy should make less tests. So that is one way school could be more cool, huh? So that is being hugged.
Because it's not more work for you to correct, so you would be actually happy.
Peter said, so here's Peter. I love to do more art.
Yeah.
I would
So,
love to
what
do
is
more reading.
Peter's exact words that we need to quote? Tyson, what should we quote? What is Peter saying? What are the words out of his mouth? Love. Yes.
Yes.
So we need to hug that. So we're hugging before I, and we're hugging after the last word art. Just like today you had art with Mrs. Johnson. Addie.
Why does it look like when the person comes? Why does it look like he's saying it? Because that's
Oh, because guess what? He's saying it. So do you guys remember what this is? What
Yes,
is
it's
this?
a speaker bubble.
Yeah, it's a speaker bubble. It's a speech bubble. Now I know you guys don't remember this. Well, maybe you do. But remember, we did this in our
Oh, yeah.
journal.
Uh-huh.
And the speech bubble has to go to the person. It has to point to the person who is saying it. So it is pointing to the person who is saying those words. So should this point to this guy right here? No.
But I thought Peter said.
No, this is Peter right here. This is the news reporter.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay? Ingrid.
Why is this I blue?
They want to show you that you must capitalize that I. So that's blue because they want to show you. You must capitalize that I. Whenever you're talking about yourself, you have to capitalize that. Okay? Kinsley, last one.
Why is it?
Because it's a contraction for I would love to do more art. So we're going to say I'd. So that's a contraction for I would love to do more art. Jack shouted! It would be nice if we could start every day with music.
No.
So, Hayden, what is Jack shouting? What should we put in quotation?
I know what we should do.
Hayden?
It would be nice if we could start every day with music.
Good job. So that is being hugged with quotation.
I wish we could just have PE all day.
Nope. We're watching.
No.
Okay, Kevin mumbled. So he kind of said it with a mumbly voice. Holidays should be much longer.
Yeah, that's what.
So Briley, what is Kevin mumbling? What is he saying? What should we put in quotations?
Christmas should be
Holidays
This
should
be
be much longer. So we have a longer holiday break. Okay.
That's his idea.
All right. Why do we have to answer all these questions? Asked the little boy. So what is the little boy asking? What is he asking, Elias?
Why do we have to answer all the
Yes. Why do we have to answer all these questions?
no little person.
I'd like school more, said Sarah. If we could eat cake in class.
Yes. No candy.
Wyatt, what is Sarah?
Undertone candy.
Wyatt, what is Sarah saying?
No sugar.
This could be a shame.
I'd like school more. Sarah said if we could eat cakes.
Yeah, but Sarah didn't say Sarah said. So I'd like more school, or I'd like school more if we could eat cake in class. So she said two things. So both of those need to have quotation marks around them.
Oh, we basically eat cake.
Okay. All right, we're gonna practice using quotation marks today in our grammar. They want us to review it, and I thought this is perfect because a lot of you struggled with that on your review from last week. So, name at the top on your pink paper, and this is exactly what we just went over. Quotation marks set off the exact words a person says. Use quotation marks at the beginning and end. So Addie showed us, you can put it at the beginning, you can put it at the end of what the person says, and you need to do both. Okay, and this, when the person says something, that can be at the beginning, and it can also be at the end. Okay, so down below, we're going to do this together, because like I said, a lot of you got these wrong on your review. We are going to read each sentence. We are going to correct the punctuation, and we are not going to write the correct sentence on the line. So take your pencil and cross off this where it says and cross off and write the correct sentence on the line. We're not going to take the time to do that because we don't have much time. Carson, are you doing what Mrs. Murphy is asking? I didn't think so. Okay, now, number 1. Josh asked, can you see the papers all over the playground? I'm going to draw a stick and I'm going to see this person pick them up and put in the quotations in the correct place. I know Addie knows them. She's already raised her hand. She got it perfect on her grammar view. How about Ingrid? So, Ingrid, what is Josh asking? What are the words? Put your quotations hugging it. Yes. So put the first set before the word can, because that was the first word out of your mouth. So remember how you hug the word, hug the word can. So remember, our quotations go, this is like one of them, a dot with a little foot. And we need 2 of them. Okay, so everybody, when I check your paper today, you should have 1 set there. Where should the other one go? What was the last word out of Josh's mouth, or when he was asking it?
It's already
Playground. And what do you notice about that, guys?
It's already gone.
They're right there. So it was only missing the 1.
I'm like,
Okay.
why are you doing
It is already there. All right. Good job, Ingrid. Number 2. I'm trying to say. Question, could you? What, honey? I can't hear you, honey. Okay. Now is not the time to do it. Okay. Because you're not listening and learning when you're on your iPads. Okay. All right. Number 2. Zach said, yes, it looks very messy. Briley, can you come up here and put the quotation marks around what Zach is saying? What are the words out of his mouth? What was the first word Zach said? Yes, so we're going to hug the word yes. So we need to put two of them that are hugging the word yes. Good job, Briley. Oh, you're not done yet. And what's the last word out of his mouth? Yes, it looks very messy. So it should... No. What is the very last word? We gotta hug the last word.
Hug me. Hug me.
Now remember, we have commas here to pause. So anytime there's a comma, you pause and take a breath when you read. So yes, you need to pause 2 times when you read the sentence. So listen again. Zach said, yes, it looks very messy. So Mrs. Murphy had to pause twice. Good job, Riley. Number 3, we should do something about it, said Josh. All right, let's see if this person, Charlotte, can you find the missing? There's, I think, only one on this one again. What is Josh saying? We should do something about it. So it is, they already put the, no, what's the last word Josh said? Mrs. Murphy just said it. We should do something about it. Because what do you notice about we? Riley? What do you notice about we?
They already got 2.
They already have the quotation marks there. So what's the last word Josh said? We should do something about it. It. So we need to hug the word it. So you need to hug that word it. So go ahead and make your 2 quotation marks that hug. So remember, it hugs in. No, they don't. They don't have one by it. Good job. I'm just going to make them a little bigger. Okay. All right. Now, what I want you to do is, we'll do one more together, and then I'm going to have you do the last 2. I'll read it, but I want you to do it on your own. Zach called out, please pick up the papers, everyone. So what is Zach calling out? What do you think, Arya? Come up here, Arya. We need some quotation marks. Okay. You can use the pen if you want. Got it? Okay, what is the very first word out of Zach's mouth? Zach called out, please pick up the papers. Everyone? Yes. So we need to hug the word please. Can you reach that? Good job. And what's the last word out of his mouth? Everyone. And put it after the exclamation mark. Okay, awesome. Now, I'm going to read this next one, and I want to see if you can do it. Kind of like a little quiz. Number 5. We got everything cleaned up fast, said Zach. So you need to put in one set, because they've already have this set. So you need to put in one more. What is the very first word Zach said? Go ahead and put that in. Put in your quotation marks. No, not there. What is the very first word out of Zach's mouth? No. We're on number 5. Okay, number 6. Josh said, it was a good idea to ask for help. So what is Josh saying? The first word is it, and they put quotation marks there. They're missing another set of them. What's the last word out of his mouth? It was a good idea to ask for help. Okay, when you have 5 and 6 done, put your blue spelling paper on top.